last episode, we were casted out by our own people, and then we started off with a new journey. Being a nice leader under hard mode, and stopped at day 4. So now we are going to start our new journey, hoping to be a better new leader that leads everybody out of this freezing cold. Playing in hard mode, we're expecting things to be very difficult. Resources get slower, people tougher to deal with, but we are going to explore what it's going to happen. Meals are served in cookhouse. People will go there in their free time if they're hungry. Okay, let's take a pause whenever you start the game, just in case you have forgotten which part of your city is having issues. Right now we've got to Gravely Sick. If you press V, the hotkey, you can take a look and see. Okay, we've got 100% efficiency, but we don't have sufficient medical pills to treat our patients. It's already at its full capacity. And we have cold housing temperature, production efficiency, marginally 3 pieces of wood every day. That's not enough. We've got quite a healthy coal margin. I would say we take some people out from the coal pile. Okay, we take out these engineers. We'll fit them in to these medical posts. It's minus 40 degrees Celsius, by the way. Okay, if you click the thermometer under this temperature figure, you see the heat zones of your city. I thought we have heater on, but no, we don't have that yet. Please give me a second, I am feeling a little bit chilly. Okay, I'm back. So let's get our issues solved. We need to build a beacon as well, rescue survivors, and build a fighting arena. Okay, so I guess shut this. If only got one thing been built, that's the medical post, so let's also set the other 2 before we click the move ahead button. Okay, we haven't researched finished researching the beacon, so that's where we are. And so let's set the fighting arena. Okay, where should we put entertainment? This is the food section. This is the tech section, and this is the medical section. Shall we put it next to the people? Are they going to be happy? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's put it here. At least the noise won't be an issue if somebody's resting in daytime. Okay. So it's going to block the path where the road comes in, but I think that's fine. I'm trying to measure how many blocks away it is. Okay. Let's put it here. Build. It's not asking to build a road. Okay. It seemed too close. Okay. Let's move ahead. Let's take a look at the technology tree and the heating. We want to research the heater quickly because the working locations are not warm enough. People are getting sick. Medical posts. We can send in the engineers as soon as it's ready. Okay, let's take a pause. What are those 15 people? I've got 15 idle workers. So let's get them onto collecting more wood. Okay. The other 37 pieces of wood. Let's get some more. Why it says it's 5 of 15? Okay, I've used all these. Okay, let's free up those 5. We need some to work on the coal piles. Food production looks alright, but it's 40% efficiency only. Hunter's hut still probably not sufficient. Let's put in more people to work on the coal pile. Let's move it slowly and see what happens. Okay, it doesn't improve. So let's get back to the trees again. Free up some people. Great, hope rises. Citizen became gravely ill. It's not good. Learn to fix the issues. We've got 92 pieces of coal per day. That's not sufficient, especially when we are going to have the heater switched on. We better collect more. See, still a little bit short. Just swapping around. We can get through the hunter's hut, but food consumption is obviously below what we need. So let's move some of these people out and resolve the coal. Okay, one less. Okay, there's no choice really, so we just keep one or two guys working on the steel collection, so we can keep it going. 4 pieces a day, not too bad for the beginning. We try to solve the coal extraction first, at least. Interesting. We end up having pull almost everybody from steel and work on the coal collection. So we've got a healthy buffer for now only. The coal will last for 1 day and 14 hours. That's alright. Because we're at hard mode now, I don't really know what's going to happen. So let's maintain this little healthy margin and see what happens next. Next we got to solve this long food bar. We've got 2 untreated citizens and 2 gravely ill. I want to take a look at why this medical post is only at 40% efficiency. Okay, it should rise, so let's not worry about it for the time being. But I'm really worried that these 2 are going to die. Okay, so nothing much we can do right now over here. So it's probably the hunter's hut we have to work on. So we have the arena and we need one more hunter's hut to get raw food. So let it stay here. Let's connect this ring. Don't have enough wood, so let's connect it. Small pieces over here. That's good. What's the problem? Frostbite. None of the people in gravely ill due to frostbite, so keep happening if people have to work in such cold. You're a nice leader. Of course, we must do something. Something radical treatment or sustain life law. Let's take a look. Sustain life. We can't cure the gravely ill, but we can at least keep them alive. We won't risk dangerous amputations with radical treatment. The gravely ill will be kept alive, but then treated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly, discontent will rise slightly. The gravely ill will not be treated and remain a burden. The gravely ill will take up beds in medical posts. That's gonna be challenging. Later on when we have care house, then I think it's gonna be solved. I'm not sure what extra rations for the ill or overcrowding is, but we've tried radical treatment earlier, so let's take this path. We have 15 hours before we can sign this law, so when it's ready, let's get it done. We are signing, it's just a cooldown. Okay, we've signed the arena. That's what we are going to do. Okay, okie dokie. Let's start again. Remember the cookhouse. We'll free up this and bacon researched. That's good. Okay, let's take a pause and build the bacon. Let's build it around the text section. We are short of steel and wood, so let's move quicker. We can move the people from the cookhouse to collect wood scraps. Since they're not producing anyway. What's happening? Wood crates depleted. And cold homes. Yes, some of our people are concerned about the low temperature in their homes. They quite sensibly point out that it's easy to fall ill when it's cold and ask you to address the problem. Okay, for this, let's hit some homes. We'll have to start heating 4 of the cold homes within 2 days, then keep them heated for 2 days. The next is let's hit all homes within 24 hours. Okay, with the situation right now, believe we take this option, but might be mindful whenever we have this set is, well, you take either one of the approaches. Either we move very fast around all the controls, or we basically see, it's nighttime now. We shouldn't get to the wood actually. We free up these and max out the hunter's hut so that they can collect raw food, and we can let this going. This heater is just going to heat the working places, so it may help, but not quite useful for the tents. So what we can do to heat the houses is probably just by using a new tech. So the tents are right over this section, so we have them placed all together. It's really chilly here, but it's cold here. Moderate risk of getting ill. So what's needed is probably steam hub over here. Need 10 pieces of wood and 20 pieces of steel to build. When powered by generators, additional small heat zones around them. Each active steam hub consumes 3 coal per hour. So let's take a look at the heat signature. we put steam hub around here, hopefully it will be better. So let's have a try. We need some more wood. So let's fast forward. What's happening? The wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree to everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. Thank you. Your word of advice. Okay, let's take a look at the food production. Raw food gain 23 per day, and each... what's this? Maybe history, okay. Each raw food is going to make 2 food rations, so we are still a little bit short of food. Let's see where we can. Okay, take this out and fit this in. Any other working on other resources? No more. Okay. Coal. I think we can move out 2 of them to fill in this hunter's hut. Let's see what happens when we started slowly. Do a health check. Okay, 26 per day still. Well, it should be 30, but let's see whether it's because somebody got sick. Not really. So, yes, one is ill and at the brink of death too. Okay, so we lost some manpower over there. Okay, let the night goes on at a quicker pace. Wait up. Yes, we need that pretty quickly. We've got 1 day, 15 hours left. Oh, really died. First death. One of our people has just died. Sickness, accidents, and deadly cold will keep claiming lives in this harsh world. We need a way to dispose of the body. We won't leave it to the people. We've got less than an hour to sign the new law. So we have to do this. It becomes a burning issue right now. If we work on sustained life, we won't be able to do this. So either we make a cemetery or we do a corpse disposal. No risk of disease, body are preserved for potential future use. Take a snow pay. Hope will fall, discontent will rise. How about cemetery? Hope will rise, no risk of disease. Each burial will keep some people from work for few hours. And we have to build it. Can we settle there or here? Being consistent on being a nice leader. Let's do the cemetery. So let's get to... we survived another night. Another day, another shift. Well, that's life. Okay. Let's sign that law. do the cemetery, sign it, hope rise quite a bit. I think it's almost close to 10%. And then technology, we're still short of 2 pieces of wood. Well, the sun comes back. We have to free up the people from the hunter's hut. And then let's get onto these resources. Remember, where do we put them? Okay. We have to save 5 to make food. There it goes. Got 27 rations. Let's take a health check. Okay, let's move on. 10 pieces of wood, steam hub. Let's begin. Oh, one more dead. Hope drops. We've got a lot of children sick. 3 hours, these 2 will be healthy again. So, take a look at the coal consumption. Not quite healthy. We've got more wood than we need now. Okay, let's take a look at the wood. Okay, 3 up to. Put 1 at the coal pile. Put 1 at the steel. Do we need that? I think we need somebody at the coal pile more than the steel. Okay. Okay, getting to 18 hours. 1 more dead. Okay, some gravely ill because of the cold in the houses. And 7 people hungry and starving. Okay. Let's move out those working in, collecting the wood crates, free them up, the other one, free this up, and then also the cookhouse. Fit them into the hunter's hut. Okay. There's 1 in treatment. So let's take this out. Let's see what happens. Okay, the one being treated is gone. So this one. Let's take a look. Yes, in treatment. Let's move ahead. We haven't built the beacon yet. You need to build the steam hub. It's going to take a little while. Let's take a look at this. It doesn't say how long, but it shouldn't be too long before it's finished. We need to build the cemetery. Okay, let's put it there. There's only 10 pieces of wood. Which part of the city is better? And we've got a longer road right there, extending out, and it's close to the living space. Let's extend the road. Don't want to put it too close to the people. At least we have it now. And then the beacon. Beacon, we need more steel. Okay, so later on we have to solve the steel resource. And take a look at the heat. Yes, it's alright now because we moved out some people from the coal piles and had to up prices. That's good. Discontent dropped. Another one dead, another 2 dead. People keep dying. That's no good. 6 dead. We have to work on the heat issues quickly. There are signs of immune now. Okay, we take a medical pose. Let's do this.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
Okay. Different opinions. Yes, it's better than letting them die. Okay, 6 AM. We haven't signed the extended working hours law. So let's move it to 8 AM in the morning. And then move the hunters back to the resources. We've got 20 pieces of steel. Steam pulp is still being researched. We need these people back to the cookhouse, back to the resource. No, 50. Let's take a look. Coal. It's too many. Let's sort out this part first. Wood crates. Max up. Okay. We need more steel. Six per day. Coal consumption. Let's take away a few and work on steel so that we can do the beacon faster. Probably we'll get more resources from outside of the town. 11 per day. Give them one more. Okay, let's go ahead. There's one hungry. We've got food. Why is not functioning? Okay, that's not enough raw food. Let's free up the people then. get them to collect something else. Steam help research. Okay, let's do it. I hope it can help the code issue. Not adjacent to the street. Let's build a little piece of road extending from here. It has to touch on all houses. So we're not touching the one on the right. Want to touch these as well. So you see a little bit of orange rim when it's covering that section. So let's build a little more road and see what happens. It should be right here. It can't cover both, unfortunately. There's still one house not being covered. Okay, let's be it. So which way is better? The left side will continue to spread out. Likewise if we put it here. So let's put it over here. Waiting for workers. There's one worker only. Let's free up a little. Which one has the most abundant resources? 44 wood per day, 13 per day. Let's free up some from here. Better from wood. We've got excess wood actually. So let's free up 2 of them and let them build stuff. Good. This has become gravely ill again. Okay, a child's play. Captain, we found a boy frozen to the bone in the cemetery next to a fresh grave. He must have been there for hours. He wants you to call an emergency meeting. He says if you agree, his mother will wake up to attend it. There's no other options we can choose. Got 2 gravely sick. What's happening at the medical post? We just have too many patients. I think we need another medical post very soon. Let's not do it for now. Let's see what research can do with just some wood. Let's do this because the workplace are cold. Short of food. Sufficient wood now. Okay. Thinking where to move those 2 idle workers. Let's gather some more steel. And fast forward the clock. Okay. The heat. Is it any better? The temps? Yes. Improved. But not resolved. Oh. Time is running out. Let's see what happens. Come on. It's almost 10% rise in discontent. This really is hard. It's already up 24 hours. The range can't do much yet. We've got quite a bit of margin to solve. Okay, let's move the people back to the hunter's hut. Let's see where the rest are. Okay. Cookhouse none. Interesting. Where did we put those remaining people? Steep. Wow, the steam hub is causing quite a bit. 72 per day. Key. We need 7. Let's get one more out. Okay, let's move on. Okay, get to the new law. We have to be quick on this. Because of the cooldown, we want to make the best use of the time. Can't do. Can we do care house? The gravely ill are kept alive and care houses no longer burn medical posts. That's good. Residents of care house that either have as much hope will rise with build care house. 30 wood, we've got wood. What about this? Less herb caused by death is halved. Interesting. I think this is more important than rise. Because the rise can be net off by just one death. Let's do this.
Hear me, hear me.
Wow, what's happening? All these sick people. There's quite a number in treatment. Okay, so let's take a look at the medical post. Obviously, it's full house. Okay, where are all our 15 engineers? Okay. If we do research, we can't do. Can't treat people. So let's think about this later on. Shall we move the 5 engineers out? – 7 AM. Temperature rises. Good sign, but not good enough. Okay, let's pause it here.
The work shift starts.
We've got the heaters coming in only after quite a while, and let's move back to Hunter's Hut. People back to the resources. Max out the coal pile. Need the steel. Let's make it 10. And then the wood. got quite some, so let's do it right now and give more to the steel. And don't forget the cookhouse. It's still not operational. 4 food rations for 2 raw food. Why there is no raw food? No way. They have hunted all night. Shall we shut down this? Let's not do 24 hours. See what happens. Okay, back to a healthy level. And wood crates, let's reduce 3 of them. And send them to the coal pile. We need to solve the let's build a beacon if steel is still not sufficient. Let's move the wood crates people to the steel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm-hmm. 6 p.m.
Put down your tools.
We need to sign a working extra hours law. Okay. Let's gather these people out. Need hunter's hut. Okay, fit them in. Cookhouse. Maximize. Where else? Three of them. Well, actually, we need to empty this and make a swap so that the sick won't be in it. Okay, let the rest. Probably need one more hunter's hut given the current situation. Let's put them here at the welfare section. Probably it needs some pieces of road. Okay, let's move on. Hope they'll collect more food. Okay, let's take a pause. It's 1 a.m. The hut is built. Max out. Let's see what happens the next day. Wait up. They built a hut, they haven't built a road. Or they built a road but they haven't been connected there. Come on. It's right here. What's going on? Let's see. There's obviously a road connecting, but why is blinking here? got no clue of this blinking road. The hunters are walking in, but okay, we have wasted some time on this. Still don't have a clue. Let's get into this. Try to build another road. Let's see what happens. Oh, they started to build it right now. Okay, it's connected. Strange. We've got one starving. And it's almost 8 AM. Let's move it a little bit slow. When it gets to 8 AM, first thing we do, move out all these endangered people. Get them to the cookhouse. Then cause coal pile. Steel wreckage. Give them 10 wood crates. Maximize. Let's take a look. We still have quite a bit of wood. Let's take out 2 of them. Let them work on the other coal pile. Yes, okay. Set. Let's kill their hunger. To take a look at the food. Need 72 rations per day. So hopefully the third hunger set is going to help. Okay, heaters researched. Let's kill the code. But then remember, whenever we switch this on, actually we can do it right here. Child shelter, a lot of sick child. Remember early on when we checked at the medical post. Really, okay. We need 252 per day, and we are about to have enough. So let's move out some wood workers. The steel is almost sufficient to build a beacon, and then we are set. Let's give it a pulse when we reached 35 pieces of steel. Okay. Let's get to the beacon. Attack part. We've got sufficient. This is the technology block. Let's build it here. Build some road. And let's take a look at all the consumptions. And by the way, before that, let's do research. We have the beacon, resources. Can we do faster gathering? 10 trees. Let's do it. And then resources, food. Yes, it's going to be solved in the evening. Coal pile. We've got a bigger gap right now. Wood crates, 6 per day. We need less steel. For now, we need more coal. Max out. Take a look again. Steel shortage. Steel 2 more out. And get them to the coal pile. Recheck. shortfall, marginal, still. Heat is more important. Let's swap them around later on. Likewise for wood. Let's get them all to the coal. Check again. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, new law. Find ways to battle hunger, sickness, and apathy. Okay. We've got these assigned medical apprentices. They help to the medical post, care house, overcrowding. Capacity of medical facilities is doubled. Using the extra capacity will cause discontent. Discontent will rise slightly. Extra rations for them. You can fix sick extra rations to help with their recovery. That's a good law to sign, but the thing is we don't have enough food. Add sawdust meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. Oh, sawdust. Hope will fall. Discontent will rise. People eating sawdust meal will fall ill. Why do we even do that? Soup. We can cook soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount of raw food. That sounds like a good idea. After introducing a new recipe, hope will fall slightly. Discontent will rise slightly. Eating soup causes discontent. So right now we're trying to fix the problem of not having sufficient raw food, and this seems to be a solution with the trade-off of raising discontent. So whether we want to do this or we want to sign something else, let's take a look whether there are any other laws that can help the current situation instead of fixing just food issue. Able to de-erase discontent. Instantaneous deal will slightly reduce discontent. So this is going to solve discontent issue, and then we'll get people killed. That's no good. Okay. By signing this emergency shift, we're not aiming to actually ask the people to work extra 24 hours. What we are aiming at is the extended shift, where we can send people to work longer, so they start working earlier and they stop working later. We've got 4 more hours to work on by the extended shift. That's going to happen right after the emergency shift law has been signed. There's a bit of cooldown. We can't solve things quite immediately. So right now we're taking the strategy of moving our workers around, shifting from Hunter's Hut to the collection of resources. So weighing the few options we have here, finally let's take a look at public house and see what's going to do. Patrons of public house are less discontented, hope will rise. Even in this harsh new world, people still need to raise their spirits after working good company with a stiff drink in hand. So here is more dealing with the soft issues. We're trying to deal with the hard stuff, having not enough food, and we don't have sufficient workers for now. And don't forget that we now have the bacon in progress. We're going to send an expedition team out, although they can collect more resources and possibly find more people, but then that means we have less workers. So I guess seeing our discontent is at a low level right now, let's sign the soup deal and raise the reduce the discontent by the other soft measures later on. So let's sign this and solve our staffing or hunger issue. Discontent just rose a little bit, so it's alright. And let's do a health check on our resources again and see how much is solved. We need 72, a standard meal. Let's go to the cookhouse and see. We can produce 5 food rations from 2 raw food, so 1 more, 20% more. That's good. Let's get it moving quicker. Hopefully we feed more people. Okay, we've got the beacon built. We now has to explore the outer part of the city. Okay, the hot balloon pops up. Let's take a look at the outer world. Okay, the frozen world outside, you see the little bit of cracking at the surrounding of the screen. Okay. What's that? The lost expedition. We can see people moving about. It must be the lost members of our expedition. This seems to be the closest spot we can get to, and we need to assemble a unit. Okay, let's take a pause here. We need 5 workers. So take a look at our resources. We don't want to move the food production, obviously. But again, the thing is, if we get to the cookhouse, it's not functioning right now because there's no raw food. So they have produced all they can, and there's only 18 food rations. So right now they've got no work to do, and the hunters are not going to hunt in 3 hours time. So at 6 PM the hunters are going to hunt, and by then we'll have raw food, so we can free these people up and make our expedition. Remember, we have used up all our wood by doing that. They're waiting. Let's go and explore. Go back to the city, balance out our resource collection. So here we've got 6 pieces of wood per day and 4 steel per day. And then coal, we've got a little bit of margin. We need 2 for 2. So by reducing maybe 2 of these workers, we see we've got insufficient coal. So add one back. It's a little bit nitty-gritty here, but that's how we're going to solve our resource challenge at the very beginning, or maybe at the later part as well. So here we are, and let's move on. Okay, what's the issue? Ready to search. People cheer as the giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done to make it happen. Volunteers have lined up, eager to go looking for lost people in Frostland. The woman who came forward earlier is among them. Yes, we needed some encouragement to everybody. Okay, let's move on. There's still 8 hours for the expedition team to find something. Okay, it's 7 PM now. We need the hunters. We see a lot of hungry people. Let's take out all those collecting resources. Get them all into the hunter's hut to collect raw food. Okay. Is there anybody else? Okay, everyone is in the hunter's hut. There's no one we can move from the medical post. We've got 6 untreated citizens still. So it's time now to think about we still have the coal power workers. Let's not forget them. Okay, all fit into the hunter's hut. Let's do a check again. 0 workforce. Okay, 2 hunters hut fully filled, 1/2 capacity. No more workforce with the resources. And here, that's the thing. We've still got 6 untreated people. Luckily, none of them are gravely sick. So we have to build. Either we have to build 1 more medical post, or we sign a new law around this medical section. So either we build a care house to keep the gravely ill, but then we don't really have any, or we sign something over here. Extra rations if we are able to solve the food issue. That's a really good law to sign. You see, there's only a blue condition without any drawback. But overcrowding, that's going to rise for discontent. So it's likely it's bearable, but let's see what happens. That we have to keep it in mind. And let's get to the morning. Fast forward the clock. We've got more hungry people over the night. I've got the heater on. Let's take a check. So the first section of houses is alright. It's the second section that we have issue. If we switch on the steam hub at night, what will happen actually? So the consumption, we can't take a look at the bar right now because we have swapped out all the workers. So if we switch on, we need 284 per day. That's going to be a big challenge. If we just switch on at 0818 is working hours, people are not staying in. It's 242. It's 40 less, 40-ish less. So that's quite challenging. Let's move to the working hours. Take a pause. The Book of Laws is about to come in. Remember, there's still 1 emergency shift. We want to sign to get the extended shift. But let's take a look at the expedition team as they're ready. If they have found, wow, they've got happy reunion. It's good. We've got more people. That's great. We enter the camp. Peering out of the driving snow, a choir of exciting voices welcomes us. Thank God you found us. We had been wandering for days until we couldn't go on any longer. Soon we'll begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed and ready to go. Excellent. Let's escort them back to the city. Again, we're playing the nice leader today's episode, so let's treat everybody nice. It takes longer for the expedition, but it worth it. Everybody just feel warmer. Okay, it's 8 a.m. Remember to move the people out. I've got 19 rations, so ideally is remember 2 rations for 5 soup. We are basically 18. The odd one is always left there, so we've got 9 times 5, that means 45 rations. We don't have sufficient, but fortunately we've got new people coming in. Hopefully the hungry people will be able to survive for another day. What's more important is the medical post right here. Remember, we are full of patients right now. And fortunately we've got 3 minutes before we can sign the new law. So let's free up these hunters, send them to the various resources site. wood crates. We need 5 coal piles. That's the max. We hope all the workers are okay. There's actually quite a lot in treatment, so let's take a look at the other one as well. This one is fine. Let's free up these two. Let's send them here first, so that we make sure with minimal number of coal pile workers being treated at the medical post. So we've got nobody collecting steel, basically. Remember that. We have to solve the challenge pretty quickly. With the new people coming in 3 hours time, I hope that can be done. I'm optimistic about that, just to be aware of. Wait. We've forgotten about the cookhouse. Silly me. Untreated citizens have dropped. That's good. And let's take a look at these. Okay, the steam hub is really not ideal, so what we have to do is let's solve this cooking issue. We've got quite a lot, so let's take out 5 of them, send them to the cookhouse quickly. Steam hub, let's switch it off right now. Okay, and only switch it off at night. That's how we're going to do it. When we switch it off, the consumption dropped significantly, and we've got a healthy margin. We've got quite some workers coming in very soon, in an hour. Let's fast forward to that hour. Okay, before we finish off, let's get everybody settled. It's a warming scene always to see the pack rejoining us. Welcome, guys. Reunions. It's heartwarming to see families reunited after so many hardships. It doesn't mean it's any easier right here, but it's better to be at the bare island out there. But shouldn't there be other settlements nearby? The first expeditions left London long ago. They ought to be well established by now. They surely help us find our footing. We hope so, and we will look for the others. So let's set out the expedition. Let's pick the location we want to go to. This is quite far away. This one seems close. 20 hours to arrive. That's 22. How long do we need to get to here? It's 15. So let's go to the shortest one, and then let the people settle down. We need more tents. So remember, we don't have sufficient wood actually. We need 10 for the people, so send them to collect the wood to build houses for themselves. They should be happy. We've got basically send all. Remember, there's only 2 wood crates left. We may run into trouble if we don't build a sawmill to extract this wood, and we are short of steel right now. And don't forget, here we only have a slight margin here. When we switch on the steam heater, the steam hub right over here, you see the round patch here with the steam hub on. The snow has gone. We pay tribute to the developers to these details. So when we switch it on, we are going to use 242 per day for coal. So we'll be short in coal production. So right now, better send a little bit more people to collect coal. We don't have any more workers now, so what we can do is just send engineers. Let's take a look at the medical posts. They are 100% efficient. That's fine, otherwise we have to swap the engineer. And then finally, let's try to take a look at the resource again. Food consumption, we need 102. It rose quite a bit. And then medical is fine. Resource production, steel, they're not collecting because we've got sick people. So 80 plus is alright. I think we should send 2 to collect steel. Let these engineer, give them 1 more, because we need steel to do research and we don't want to be idle on the production of steel. So we're approaching the end of today's session with everything set. So next episode, when we come back, we'll be able to see faster gathering, the effect from here. Hopefully it will help us to solve all these resource shortage issue. We're happy to have new people joining us. We have 30-ish more people. Obviously we've got 19 children right now to take care of. And regarding laws, we can sign new one now. Whether we sign overcrowding, extra rations for the ill, or we sign something that is going to extend working shift so that people are going to collect more resources, we can decide in the next episode. So for now, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Cheers, bye bye.